What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to AFTV. We have arrived in Liverpool. Matter of fact, just outside Goodison Park, as you can see in the background. And, you know, on the way up here, was all discussing, it's the last game, how's it going to go at Everton and all the trips we've been and some of the memories. And I thought it was right that we just do a quick video just before, ahead of the game, obviously tomorrow, about thoughts around, you know, last time at Goodison Park. Should Saka be starting? Will it be his last? It will be his last time at Goodison Park if he does start. And also, when we filmed the road trip, we hadn't heard from Mikel Arteta in the press conference, and now we have. So there's a few little more updates. So we'll go through that. Let's start with, where should we go first? Let's start with player selection, kind of what was mentioned in the press conference. I'll just give a few updates. Ricardo Calafiori is a no-go. Arteta shut that down completely. So there's no Calafiori, there's no left back. Probably till, would you say the end of this? I suppose the end of the season. Kind of way they ruled him out. He didn't exactly say that. He said he's definitely not available for this week, and it's looking like he probably won't be available for the 2 legs.
Yeah, what did he say? A couple of weeks, and that was in international duty. Look, we'd be speculating.
But he won't be
Calafiori and his fitness this season, that's been a real concern, and isn't a player we haven't been able to depend on him the way we wanted to. And actually, part of the reason we were excited about signing him was in the case that a Gabriel injury occurred, because he felt like actually at centre-back performances he put there for Italy and Bologna, he could really kind of cover quite well in that position, perhaps more than Kivior. Yeah. We've lost a little bit of faith, haven't we, there? But hopefully proves us wrong.
Well, let me ask you about then, I'll come to you in a second, but Timber and White. He said they're going to assess tomorrow, and that for you, James, and we did this whole Predict 11 thing, would you force them in tomorrow?
But it's like the fans' answer is always going to be different to the coach's answer. For me, it's like, no, protect them, just make sure they're fine for Real Madrid. If they're not 100%, don't risk them for this game. But Arteta needs players out on that pitch. He needs them getting ready, he needs them training, and he needs them doing all this stuff, because it's all part of preparation for Madrid anyway, and getting 3 points, because these are competitive people and want to put 3 points on the board and keep winning football matches. So my actual prediction is that now that I thought he'd be more definitive on Timber or White, but he's not been. So actually there's a good chance they both start with Saliba and Lewis Skelly.
Well, Lee, for you then, obviously you wasn't on Predict 11 with us earlier in the week, but he said that Timber and White potentially they're going to reassess tomorrow, tomorrow morning. Would you start them if they're 80% to get them ready and looking at what you might see against Real Madrid, or are you risking Kivior to start in this game? When I say risking, I'm saying put him in to then play them against Real Madrid. What would you rather see?
I'm not risking Timber if he's 80%, 85 or 90. Leave him the extra couple of days. But Ben White,
Arteta will. Sorry, do you think that's?
Arteta would probably do the same. If I was manager, that's what I'd do. But I'd 100% play Ben White. Okay. He needs to have some minutes and prove himself. And
where would you play Ben White? Because technically, James made a point in the Predict 11, like you'd put Thomas Partey right back. If you're putting Ben White in, would you put him in the centre back position and Saliba says 2 right foot centre backs? So is that what you're saying?
No, for this game he plays right back. Right back for me, central defence of Saliba and Kivior and then whoever you want to play in the left back position. Listen, he's played central defence before. He's done it before, so it ain't a problem if he has to go there in the game against Real Madrid. If he comes through this one, I would play Ben White at central defence. But he needs to get some minutes under his belt. You know, he hasn't hardly played for that one. And to be honest, he played against PSV in the last round. That was his last start. Looks a little bit out of it. And I know he's had a lot of training since, but he needs to get proper game time. And to be honest, Everton away from home, that's proper game time. Proper game time,
tough arts. And now, before I close off on kind of the manager's quotes, I mean, I'm going to give you all the things that stood out to me, bar him being the most handsome manager that apparently from the AI report. I don't think that needs to be spoken about at all. If you
gave a good answer, to be fair.
Yeah, he says, thanks, Mum and Dad. They'll be proud. The last thing that kind of jumped out to me, Declan Rice, centre back. He said we've tried it before against PSV. Does no one want to see that, or is that something that? No, you're shaking your head. I mean.
No, because I think there's other solutions there, and then what? Then we're weakening that position, and then what? Does Mourinho come back into midfield, and then you lose your physicality in there? I think that's one of the things I feel we may have over Madrid. Is I was doing a tactical insight that's coming out on the channel with Nick J Francis, and if you look, I know it's Lee's favourite show, but
falling asleep now.
Yeah. Just as I'm trying to reel off one stat, but they're bottom in La Liga for tackles won in the middle third of the pitch. Now that could be because they dominate games. They're not always the most combative. They've got the presence
Yeah.
and the quality to do it, but maybe that's just not their style. I feel like that might be an area of the pitch we could dominate. So do you want to mess around with pulling Declan Rice out of there? I wouldn't. I think play him in midfield and just keep him in what's been a good run of form.
Is that a fair answer, Lee? Do you not want to see Declan Rice in that centre-back position?
I'm not bothered if he plays there tomorrow, if I'll be honest. But I agree with James there. The game against, I'm not saying it, but win or lose in midfield, Arsenal got to win that midfield battle. Now, playing at central defence, if for this game, is not going to physically be as much as demanding if he was playing in midfield.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be against it. But if you're saying like, we're going to play Declan Rice to play him in against Real Madrid, then I don't want that. No, I think at the end of the day, one of our strongest positions is midfield. Use it, combat it, and Declan Rice is a big part of that. Like, you know, and I think, you know, if they have got players like Danny Ceballos playing in there, like, you know, Declan Rice can overrun that and get the ball and all that. So I'm not for it there. But for a one-off game, you know, if you were saying to me, look, I'm going to rest Saliba and play Declan Rice in there, I could maybe go along with that. But I think also you still got to have some certain cogs working in the team, because you're up here now. You want to win the game, and listen, I'm with James on that. There are other solutions as well.
Okay, well, this is going to be a lot of the players, all the players for last time playing at Goodison Park, and not even just the players. It's manager Mikel Arteta who's going to have fond memories of obviously being here. So he is obviously ex-Everton player as well. So it's going to be, I don't know what it's going to be for him. I mean, I think they asked him in the press conference about it, but it's obviously going to be a time where he might look back at the time when he was playing here. But Saka is kind of the one I want to hone in on. Does he start for you off the back of an unbelievable return? I think he couldn't really write it. He comes off the bench, gets an amazing applause from the fans for coming off the bench and being fit again, then scores within 6 minutes. Is it one of those where you just keep him playing, keep the momentum? Or are you just you slowly bringing him in? I'll go to you, Lee, first, actually. Are you going to give him another 30 minutes or another 25 minutes, or are you wanting him to start in this game?
I was actually thinking that, maybe 20 minutes on Tuesday, another 20 minutes here.
Before Tuesday game, I was thinking that.
Tuesday game, you know what I mean? But I thought on Tuesday you looked really sharp and everything now. So I've changed my mind now. 60 minutes, whatever happens, whatever the result is, whatever the scoreline is.
Off the bench or starting? No,
starts today, plays the first 60 minutes, a little bit like Wayne Yeri did for the game. That was obviously planned.
Yep.
Same with vice versa now. So I would play him 55, 60 minutes, then bring on Wayne Yeri. That's what I would do. On the back of what he done in that game. What he done in that game. And I also think that, you know, there's a difference. There is a difference between starting a game and coming on as a substitute. It's more intense that first half. Tactically, it's more intense. So I think he needs to get that. Now, if you're not planning on starting him on Tuesday, then maybe like put him back on the bench and ease him back in. But I think the way it was calculated, the way that it was obviously, like, you know, to get him 25 minutes was going to be probably too much, but it proved not to be.
But can he not start him, Lee, and then do the 60 minutes, and the same one against Real Madrid, start him again?
I think that's what'll happen. I don't think he's got 90 minutes in him at the moment. I think the player... Bloody Liverpool
fans.
Think they'd be quiet around here, wouldn't you? I don't blame them, like, you know. So, but no, I think, like, you know, start him, and it may be on Tuesday. He will start, and we don't know. But like, I think on Tuesday, I don't think there'd be like a script.
Yeah.
I think today or tomorrow there'd be a script, and I think that is 60 minutes and then off.
James, start him. Have you changed your mind since, or?
I've done about 4 videos talking about this, and I've changed my mind on everyone.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say I don't know.
Okay,
honestly, my final words ahead of this game is I have no idea. And with that, I won't be too critical whatever Arteta does or too praising. I mean, I have no idea. The sports scientists, the people, Bukayo Saka himself, they'll know what he needs much more than I will. You know, I'd love for him to play an hour. I think that's really good prep. But my word, he'll get one kick from Digne at fullback or whoever, and I'll go, get him off the pitch, get him off. I have no idea, and it's kind of the same with Timber and White. With that one, I have slightly more of an opinion because one came off and White didn't even make the squad the other day. Saka came on, looked great for 25-30 minutes. Arteta said we've been holding him back. So I have no idea. But either way, he's either protected or he's going to get some good game time.
I actually think it's quite a tricky question because You're right. He's obviously going to want to play. He wants to play every game. He's going to want to play. But when you look at it, whilst you was talking, I was thinking, who's more likely to unlock a defence? Now, a lot of people will just jump and say Saka, but Ethan will be the one. I've watched him. He wants to get on the ball and try something every time. So I wouldn't mind Ethan starting. But then I'm thinking, can you get both of them in the side? My dream would be to see both of them in the side to try and unlock an Everton defence. Because when it comes to Real Madrid, I know they're not going to be like Everton, but at least we have two of them on the pitch, and I can see that. That's what I want to see against Real Madrid. I would love both of them to start. Is that going to happen? Probably not. Mikel Arteta's probably not going to do that. But I think Saka has to figure at some point in this game. I think we all know that. But does he start? For you in the comments, you let me know or not, because I'm quite intrigued. Because I think I want him to, because we're going. You want to see him. I think the game's going to be quite a dull game. I want him to get 60 minutes. I believe it will be a dull game. So I want him to be there to give me a bit of a lift as well. And then if it's not working, you bring on someone like Ethan, I suppose, to try and run at that defence, which would be sitting in a low block.
Both of them. I'd love to see that. I would love to see that.
That would make this game so much more exciting.
100% it would, and also it would give maybe Real Madrid something to think about. If they had to look at it and think, well, are they going to play that? I think the one criticism I've got on Mikel, and I've always had that, you really know what he's going to do. You know, his substitutions are not hard to work out and all that. So why not throw a curveball in there? Would be a good thing. And I'd like to see it, particularly against Everton or someone like that, who probably will be a little bit more defensive. But come Tuesday, Real Madrid are not going to be as defensive. So you probably wouldn't want to be as open in the midfield. So, but listen, we're playing Everton away. Let's go for it.
Yeah. Let me end and close this video by saying that, I want to kind of get your thoughts, because I know you was close to, an Arsenal legend and obviously an Everton legend here, Kevin Campbell as well. And I remember the reverse fixture, they had a lovely board out opposite the Emirates with Kevin Campbell on. And I know they did a tribute. I wasn't actually at that game, the home game, but I believe it was a really nice touching tribute. Do you know if they will do anything for this game tomorrow morning?
Yeah, I believe, on 9 minutes, they're going to get everybody singing. So that'd be fantastic. That means the whole ground as well, because obviously the Arsenal fans have got affection for Kevin as well. So on 9 minutes, because that was his number at Everton, they're going to be singing, Super Kev, and I'll certainly be joining in with that. Very emotional sort of coming here for me, because last time I was up here, they had a big billboard just over there with Kevin. I don't know if they've got it up again now. They did take it down, but the last time I was here, we went into Winslow and had a few beers in there and walking around the ground, just, taking it all in. And listen, I think I've always enjoyed my time coming to Goodison Park over the years. We haven't got a bad record here, but it's the last time, and because of what's happened with Kevin, it's more emotional for me than ever. Yeah. And I'm sad to see Everton, the Goodison Park, go. Yeah,
it's a historic ground, really.
Very, very historic ground, and it's always, you can see it is a little bit run down now, aged. Yeah. Like we all get old, and unfortunately, it's being replaced. But listen, they've got a new stadium now. We've done it. We know what it's like. Yeah. You hold on to the dreams of Highbury there. Hold on to the dreams of Goodison Park. And it's going to be an emotional day, and on 9 minutes, I always with Everton. There's always the Kevin. Whenever Everton are playing, it reminds me of Kevin as well. He had such a good time here. The fans absolutely adored him. I was just saying, James off camera, it took us one time over half hour to get to the corner here because he was getting mobbed. So he was very, very popular here. Always looked after.
Always give time to the fans as well?
Listen, always, always, you know what I mean? And the fans are always, I think because of my connection with Kevin, they've always been very, very friendly to me up here. I can go into Winslow and have a drink in there with no problems. I don't know what it's going to be like, because I've actually never gone in there without Kevin, so that'd be I might get thrown out. So we'll see, but they've said I'm more than welcome to come in and have a drink, which is fantastic. And listen, if I'm in there and they want to share memories of Kevin, will do that, and he was a big player here, and it's a sad day that Goodison's not. This is the last time at Goodison. I look forward to going to the new stadium, but I always have fond memories here.
Well, I think that's the perfect way to end the video. I mean, there's not much left in the Premier League title race for Arsenal and obviously Everton as well, but there'll still be a special day tomorrow for that fact alone to Kevin Campbell, a fact of the matter. So let us know your thoughts in the comments below around who you think should be starting? Should Saka start? Should he get a few minutes? And what are you made of the situation currently with the current players we have left? Who would you like to see be playing in starting in tomorrow morning's game at 12:30? Thank you for watching this video. Like the video on your way out, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.